Welcome to Indiana, DeWanna. Welcome to Indiana. What I heard come out of your mouth is exactly why this signing, of all the other moves the Indiana Fever did this offseason, the DeWanna Bonner signing was the one that made me just get out of bed a little bit faster.
DeWanna Bonner is hyped to hoop with Caitlin Clark, while the Aces are in shambles. Players are fleeing Vegas, and A'ja Wilson's squad is looking real shaky. The Fever are stacking weapons. Meanwhile, the Aces are crumbling under the pressure. The Dynasty talk? Looking funny in the light. Is the Fever takeover coming? Let's break it all down and see if the balance of power in the WNBA is about to shift.
So as you guys can see in this footage here, man, it's her working alongside Keith Porter, and I believe Caitlin Clark as well took place in this workout session because she is clearly in the gym. You guys look real good. I'm going to pull up some photos here of Caitlin Clark actually being there for this workout session. So I don't know if her and Caitlin Clark got in the gym, but it is definitely looking like that is the case.
DeWanna Bonner sat back, stared at the contract, and blinked twice. Indiana Fever? Me? She had to double-check to make sure it wasn't some elaborate prank. But nope, it was real. DeWanna Bonner, one of the most competitive players in the WNBA, was now officially teaming up with Caitlin Clark. And let's be honest, the last time these two were on the same court, DeWanna was giving Caitlin the full WNBA welcome package. Intense defense, some light trash talk, and that rookie, you better recognize energy. But now, she was all smiles, all excitement, all, I can't wait to play with Caitlin Clark.
Provide the knowledge and explain playoff sim a little bit better so we can be better prepared and don't get punched in the face the first game. And it's hard to come back when you do that the first game. It's hard to come back and try to win 2 straight against a veteran team. So I think they got it, and I think that it's going to be steps throughout the regular season that get us prepared for that, because every game, every single night is going to be hard. These teams have changed a lot in this league, and every team has loaded up and gotten better. So I think that the regular season is going to definitely prepare us for that.
Last year, Connecticut and Indiana played.
Nobody expected this kind of reaction. Most people assumed DeWanna Bonner would take the veteran approach, something along the lines of, she's young, she's talented, but she's got to earn her stripes. You know, the usual. But nope, DeWanna wasn't just excited. She was talking like she just got recruited to play alongside prime Michael Jordan.
Push their team to get over the finish line. It's playoffs, so emotions are high, tensions are high, but I can be more excited to step on the court with Caitlin. We actually had a great workout this morning, and I think we just feed well off each other. So I'm just here to hopefully, give my little leadership advice. I don't feel like I need to push her to be any type of player that she isn't already is, and I'm just happy to be here, and I hope that I can give her some knowledge to take her game to a different level. So when I retire, she can pass that along, to other players. So.
The numbers don't lie. Ticket sales are through the roof. TV ratings are breaking records. And even the casual sports fans who never cared about the WNBA before are suddenly locked in. Caitlin Clark isn't just another hyped-up rookie. She's a phenomenon. DeWanna, who's seen it all in her long career, knows this is different. She's played with all-stars, won championships, and battled against the best. But this feels bigger. And judging by her reaction, she's more than ready to ride the Caitlin Clark wave all the way to Indiana's resurgence.
What excites you the most about this team that you're going to be joining?
I mean, they have dynamic pieces in CC and Kelsey Mitchell and AB, Lexi Hall. I mean, they have a great core, so why not just add to that and try to, take us to the next level in the playoffs.
The moment the news broke, Fever fans were already printing DeWanna Bonner jerseys like they worked at a Nike factory. Then came the real moment of shock. DeWanna, for the first time, was seen working out with Caitlin Clark. A moment so rare, so unexpected, that it had WNBA Twitter in shambles. DeWanna Bonner working out, and Caitlin Clark is involved? Let's paint the picture. DeWanna steps into the gym, all cool, veteran presence, been there, done that energy. Caitlin's already dripping sweat, probably been there for an hour.
Hopefully, like I said, I can make her life a little easier. not just her, the whole team, but hopefully she can make my life a little easier.
DeWanna, I guarantee you your life is going to be easier. What do they say, Charles Barkley? Guarantee. I guarantee it, DeWanna. But what I loved was the first part of that. We already had a great workout this morning. DeWanna Bonner came to Indiana and she already knows who she's dealing with.
DeWanna knew Caitlin was good. Yeah, she understood. This wasn't just hype. This wasn't just social media making a star. This was real. The best part? DeWanna is now a full-fledged member of the Protect Caitlin Clark at All Costs movement. Fever fans, you've got another soldier. First, it was Sophie Cunningham applying to be Caitlin's personal bodyguard. And now DeWanna Bonner is stepping up too? If anybody even thinks about giving Caitlin a hard foul, they're gonna have to answer to DeWanna. And let's be clear, this woman has been in the league. She's seen it all. She's played through elbows, hard screens, and people acting like the WNBA is WWE. So if you think she's gonna let anybody mess with her new favorite teammate, absolutely not.
She's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball. And I'm a fan. Like, I would love to play with her one day, for real.
And let's talk about that Fever starting lineup for a second. Caitlin Clark, the shooter, the playmaker, the walking highlight reel. Kelsey Mitchell, silent assassin, ready to drop 20 at any moment. Sophie Cunningham, chief officer of You Touch Caitlin, You Gotta See Me. DeWanna Bonner, veteran enforcer, still running on pure competitive fire. Aaliyah Boston, anchor of the defense, casually dominating the paint. Well, what about Sydney Coulson? Yes, we will talk about that later because A'ja Wilson is already crying about her. This is not a team. This is a movement. This is the we are not losing squad. And DeWanna Bonner? She's all in.
It just was a really good, welcoming feeling that DeWanna Bonner received. What stood out to me, and a lot of the freaking fans, I like to clown, okay? I like to clown too. Welcome to my channel, guys. I like to joke, humor, and crack jokes. A lot of the girls on Twitter was like, did y'all see that smile DeWanna Bonner had on her face when she walked in and seen like that man come out with that chef hat? And like he was like, yeah, we cook breakfast every morning. This is what I mean when I say what I say, okay?
Now, where are the A'ja Wilson and Angel Reese fans at? Oh, that's right. They're huddled in a corner, wiping their tears, clutching onto old highlights like it's a family heirloom. Because, oh, the Indiana Fever just ran through free agency like a tornado, and the Aces? They're over there trying to put together a full roster with glue and optimism.
They went up and snatched Sid Coulson from the Aces. She is 100% vibes. She is 100% going to be a backup for Caitlin. It's going to be fantastic. Backup for Kelsey. Like, she is a great addition to this backcourt. She has senior leadership. She has championship experience. She is the most fun ever. And Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever front office is not messing around.
First of all, the Fever saw Caitlin Clark walk through that door and said, all right, we're going all in. They pulled up with Natasha Howard. Boom, they got DeWanna Bonner. Boom. And just when Aces fans thought they could breathe, here comes Sydney Coulson, championship experience, comedic relief, and most importantly, a nice little backup for Caitlin Clark. Oh, the pain in Las Vegas right now. It's poetic. A'ja Wilson sitting there like, who am I playing with again? Meanwhile, Indiana got a squad so deep, they might start running load management just for fun.
So the Las Vegas Aces have lost basically their entire team. Almost their entire team is gone from last year. They've lost basically everyone. If we want to look at the Vegas Aces team from last year, who's still remaining? The MVP, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. That is it.
But wait, let's not forget Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed rebounding queen. And it's about me too. Girl, please. The last time she saw Indiana on her schedule, She was out there flopping around like a fish out of water. Somebody tell her Fever games aren't a swimming competition. This isn't synchronized diving. There are no style points for dramatic falls. She hits the floor so much, you'd think she was trying to be part of the hardwood. At this point, the arena staff should start charging her rent for all the time she spends lying on the court. And let's be real, she calls herself the rebounding queen, but half those boards come from her missing her own layups. Stat padding at its finest. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here actually making history, and Sophie Cunningham is ready to throw hands for her if needed. Angel better think twice before trying her usual antics against the Fever. Indiana doesn't have time for all that flopping. This is real basketball, not a talent show for the best dramatic performance.
This notion that Caitlin Clark is not the face of the WNBA because she isn't the best player is quite honestly ridiculous. Conor McGregor was the face of the UFC. He was not the best fighter. Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA, but nobody says he's the face of the NBA. Being the best doesn't automatically give you the title as the face of the league. It's who moves the needle, who's marketed to the audience, who are they coming to see, who drives the conversation surrounding your sport. All the numbers and metrics point to one direction, and that direction is Caitlin Clark, and it's not even close.
Before now, the Aces used to be untouchable. Used to be. Now, the only thing they got going for them is nostalgia. Ain't nobody scared of Vegas anymore. Meanwhile, Indiana is cooking up a new dynasty. Caitlin Clark about to be throwing dimes all over the place. DeWanna Bonner pulling up like she's still 25. And Natasha Howard? Locking people up like a defensive warden. You think A'ja Wilson wants to deal with that? She's probably looking at this Fever roster like, yeah, I'm a head out. And you know Aces fans are going through it.
What do you mean Sydney Coulson is joining the Indiana Fever? What does that mean? Indiana is just being so fucking greedy right now. They took DB. They took Natasha. Now they got Sydney Coulson. Like, why would they take Sydney from us?
One day they're on Twitter talking about A'ja Wilson is the best player in the world. The next day, when are we signing somebody? Oh, how the tables have turned. Aces fans went from cocky to concerned real quick. Look, nobody's saying the Aces are completely finished. But let's be real, they're holding on for dear life. Meanwhile, Indiana is out here treating the WNBA offseason like a video game, stacking up pieces like they got unlimited salary cap. Fever GM walked into free agency like, yeah, I'll take one of everything.
I mean, obviously, we have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year.
While Angel Reese is out there playing an unrivaled with fewer and fewer people watching each week, trying to convince everyone she's the next big thing, Caitlin Clark is in the lab, cooking up something dangerous for the WNBA. And the A'ja Wilson fans? Oh, they are furious. The Indiana Fever just keep making moves, and their tears could probably fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool at this point. Just picture it. Caitlin Clark, fully rested, not carrying an entire team on her back like she had to in college. Nah, now she's got reinforcements. DeWanna Bonner, elite. Natasha Howard, absolute problem. Sophie Cunningham, ready to throw hands at the slightest sign of disrespect. The Fever are building a squad that's about to make A'ja and her fan base reconsider their entire existence. And let's talk about the locker room vibes. You got Sydney Coulson bringing comedy gold daily, keeping the energy up. Imagine her roasting Angel Reese's stat line every week.
I didn't know they were going to load up like this, though. DeWanna Bonner, Sydney Coulson, just re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. You already have Aaliyah Boston. You have Caitlin. You have Lexi. You got the MAGA Barbie. Look, this is going to be good and bad for the Fever. And this is going to be good and bad for CC. Because if CC can't get a ring with the Super Avengers that Kathy and the Indiana Fever has assembled, then
But let's be serious for a second. Because the thought of arrested Caitlin Clark no longer being hacked 24/7 with no calls is terrifying for the rest of the league. She was already putting up insane numbers while getting triple teamed. Now, She's got floor spacers, shooters, defenders, and enforcers. Yeah, enforcers. Sophie Cunningham is officially the head of the Protect Caitlin at All Costs task force. Anybody so much as breathes on Clark the wrong way? Sophie's there. Somebody tries to throw a cheap shot? Sophie's already in midair, about to deliver a flagrant 2 that the refs refuse to review. And you just know Sydney Coulson is hyping it up from the bench.
So this is actually being the shock of free agency. Like, I'm being dead serious here. This is the shock of free agency. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The shock of free agency is the fact that the Fever signed their backup point guard. And it might be one of the best vets in the entire WNBA.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still out there trying to sell tickets for Unrivaled like a high school student handing out flyers for their garage band. Please come watch me play. I promise I can do more than put back layups. And A'ja Wilson fans? Oh, they are seething. Fever fans are out here celebrating like it's a championship parade, and A'ja Wilson's timeline is filled with, "It's not fair. Why do they keep getting good players?" Well, maybe because the league wants competition. Maybe because Indiana is actually building something instead of relying on vibes and hoping for the best. The WNBA better prepare itself, because the Indiana Fever aren't coming to play nice. They've got Caitlin Clark about to run the show, they've got shooters, they've got defenders, and they've got Sophie Cunningham ready to drop the gloves at a moment's notice. A'ja and her fans better buckle up, because it's about to be a long season for them.
Caitlin Clark thing is a great point, and it's so special that men get a chance to actually watch a really, really good women's basketball player, or arguably the best women's college basketball player ever. Special to see, and something that you probably will always look back on and go, Caitlin Clark, I watched her when I was younger. She's that good.
Now, let's fast forward to game time. Imagine this season, Fever versus Aces. The so-called super team that's been talking reckless all offseason. Big mistake. One hesitation move and poof, A'ja Wilson is left reaching for air. Caitlin steps back, fires, bang. The crowd erupts. Becky Hammon is on the sideline looking like she just saw her tax bill. Next possession, A'ja Wilson calls for the ball in the post, thinking she's about to do damage. Aaliyah Boston meets her at the rim like a security guard checking for IDs. Blocked. Ball goes the other way. Caitlin pulls up from the logo like it's a layup. Money. Timeout. Aces. Las Vegas fans in shambles. Meanwhile, DeWanna is just chilling, nodding like, "Yep, this is exactly why I came here."
Of all of the moves that the Fever have made during this free agency season, this one has been the most shocking for a lot of fans. Firstly, because Sydney Coulson seemed to be a key piece to the Las Vegas Aces, and it seemed like that Las Vegas Aces group is kind of falling apart.
Now, one thing is crystal clear. The Indiana Fever aren't just here to compete. They're here to take over like a team of basketball Avengers assembling for world domination. And this season? Oh, it's about to be a whole cinematic masterpiece. I'm talking full-blown action move whilst Caitlin Clark will be pulling up from the logo like she's the main character. The Fever are kicking down the door like an FBI raid, and the rest of the league. They better start rehearsing their best "we tried our best" speeches now, because this takeover is inevitable. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.